So real estate agents, realtors, yeah, I'm talking to you. Are you guys tired of simply not knowing when your next commission check is going to arrive, when your next deal is going to fall into your lap, when you're going to be able to make some money to pay for your personal expenses and support your family? Are you tired of that and the roller coaster goes up and down and all around? I've been selling real estate for 18 years and I finally found a model in which all that hard work that I'm still doing, by the way, is now going to pay off in additional ways, as well as I maintain the model of business as usual, but now I have multiple streams of income to help support my family and my lifestyle. Things that are important to me, charitable causes, and it's all because of Real Broker. So I'm gonna break down the 9 different ways you can make money with Real Broker. It's pretty cool, the 9 different multiple streams of income you can have for doing the same job you've already been doing, for me, for 17 previous years. For you, however long you've been in the business. I mean, what a no-brainer this ended up being for me. When the light bulb came on for me finally, this is the best professional decision I've ever made in my entire life. Okay, so let's break down those 9 different ways to make money with Real Broker. But if you wouldn't mind, just go ahead and subscribing, smashing it, or liking us, getting us out to more and more people, especially agents that could potentially benefit from this message and this information. So let's go with number 1. That is commissions. Okay, Kelly, every broker does that. You're right. This is not a bait switch. I promise you. The 8 other ways are different things that most of the brokerages, in fact, all of them except for just a couple out there, do not provide. So number 1, commission check. Everyone does that. But with that commission check, let's go over the splits and fees. As you can see on the sheet right here, the split for everyone with Real is 85-15. So every agent gets an 85-15 split until they cap at a certain amount of money paid into the company. So for a full capper, it's a $12,000 cap paid to the company every single year, and then it resets on that anniversary year. If you're a half cap because you're on a real estate team, then you only pay $6,000 to the cap for the year. Pretty good deal. And you're still on that same 85-15 split. Now, one of the best things about Real Brokers when it comes to fees is that there are no monthly fees. So sometimes you have a month or two where it's just not a good month. Maybe you close 0 transactions. Well, in that situation, you pay nothing. Real has made that a big part of their value proposition to agents to make sure that if someone doesn't close a deal in a month or 2 because they have a slow month or a bad month, they don't have to pay any fees at all. You only pay when you actually produce and sell real estate, which is counterintuitive to most other brokerages out there. The other big thing why they love having that structure is because they don't want to force you to use a certain type of technology or a certain type of system that maybe they get a bulk discount or bulk package on, where they force you to pay for it whether you want to use it or not, like some other companies do. So they have a huge discount with one of the best CRMs in the entire industry called Chime, where you can sign up for an account for only $40 a month. That is huge. I believe on the website right now, Chime says it's $449 a month to sign up, whereas you get it for only $40 a month if you're a real agent. But again, if you want to use a different CRM, a different technology, you don't have to use it. It's just there in case you want to, keeping the monthly fee at 0. Okay, so now let's talk about when you do produce, what the fees will be. Number 1, there's an annual fee. Annual fee is $750 every single year. However, it is broken up over your first 3 closings for that year. So you pay $250 per closing. Now, if you only close 2 deals a year, then you only pay $500 for the annual fee. But if you close more than that, you'll be paying $250, $250, and $250 for a total of $750 for the annual fee to Real Broker. There's a one-time sign-up fee when you first decide to join, which is the best decision I ever made, for $249 one time. That's it. And there is a per closing transaction BOP fee for broker processing E&O, and that is $30 per transaction. Now that also can be split per the team leader and the agent on the team, if there is a team. Instead of doing a 50-50 split, then that would be $15 each for that one transaction as well. So it's a nominal fee, and for E&O, that is awesome. The previous brokerage I actually came from charged $50 a transaction. So at $30, that's a pretty sweet deal, in my opinion. Now there's another fee out there that is a transaction fee, but only after you cap. So while you're paying your 85-15 split, there is no transaction fee until after you cap. And we'll cover that here in just a second, because that segues into another way that you can potentially make an additional stream of income with Real Broker. So it actually becomes a fee after you cap, but it actually rewards you in a different way as well, which is pretty cool. So we'll get to that in just a second. And the last fee is if you want to participate in revenue share, which we'll also get to in a second. There is a fee for that as well that we'll cover here when we get to the revenue share portion of this video. So now that we covered commissions and fees, let's go to the second way you can make money with Real, and that is the stock purchase program pre-cap. So while you're paying your 85-15 split up to $12,000 to the company for the year, by simply clicking a button, you can choose to elect to become part of the stock purchase program, in which Real will match your contribution, kind of like a 401k, which is awesome. They do it all behind the scenes. Every agent gets a Morgan Stanley brokerage account that they just do everything for you behind the scenes. So here's how it works. You can choose to contribute up to 5% of your check at closing, and that will go directly to purchasing Real stock. And when you do that, the company will actually match 15% of what you put in pre-cap. So pretty darn cool, a 50% match on that money. And for those shares that you purchase and they match, there's a 1-year hold as a RSU, a restricted stock unit, which is not bad at all. And so you have the ability to pull that money out and do whatever you want after just 1 year. Third way to make money with Real is another stock award, which is the capping award. So when you cap again and you pay your $12,000 on a full cap to the company, then they give you an award for doing so, which is awesome. So right away, they will award you 150 shares just for doing the job you're supposed to be doing anyway and producing real estate. And when you cap, those shares are deposited in your Morgan Stanley account. Pretty darn cool. The fourth way to make money with Real is the post-cap stock purchase program. So in this situation, you've already capped. You can still contribute to buy more stock with your closing. So when you do this, you're actually going to take 10% of each closing and use it to buy Real stock up to $15,000 for the year. When you do that, Real will match that money post-cap at 30%. And again, that's all done behind the scenes. It goes right into your Morgan Stanley account. So that is free money, guys. And last time I checked, I don't know anyone who wouldn't sign up for that, right? It's free money. It's kind of like a forced savings account, like a 401k. And because realtors traditionally aren't great at saving money, this is a perfect opportunity to actually save money, get in early while the stock is very cheap, accumulate a lot of shares, and sit there and watch it grow. Okay, now the fifth way to make money with Real is the Elite Agent Award. So again, after you cap, you now have this transaction fee that is $285 per deal. Once you pay another $6,000 in transaction fees after you cap to the company, which is approximately about 21 closings. If you take $6,000 divided by $285, that's about 21 more closings. Once you do that, you now have earned Elite Agent Award status. What does that mean? Glad you asked. This is awesome, guys. Once you're in that status, the company will gift you back $16,000 of Real stock. That's right, $16,000. At this point, you've only paid in 12 plus 6 for a total of $18,000 in splits and fees, and they give you back $16,000 of Real stock. Pretty darn cool. Now, as a team leader, you actually could benefit double on this because the $285 transaction fee is split per the split that you have with your team agent. So as a team agent, if you're on a 50-50 split, then you each would be at $142.50 in terms of credit towards Elite Agent status, because once you hit $6,000 total, you hit that number. And that's the magical number that you want to hit, because that's where you really start to accumulate a lot of shares. Now, for you luxury agents and commercial agents out there that do much larger transactions, there's also another way to make Elite Agent without having to do 21 additional closings at the $285 transaction fee. And that is an exception on this, which is awesome. And that is if you close 10 or more transactions that are each over $1 million and you bring in a total of $500,000 of gross commission income for the year, then you also will hit Elite Agent status and be gifted that $16,000 in Real stock. Now, the sixth way you can make money with Real Brokerage is the Culture Award. That's right, guys. If you have a charitable cause that you're passionate about and you do a big event or some sort of give back to certain charities or charity, then it is a gray area and it's subject to C-level approval, if you will. But if you do that type of charitable work, then they will potentially nominate you for the Cultural Award, which basically means you get that status, and once you get that status, they will gift you $8,000 back in company stock for that year. Now, if you don't have a charitable organization or big charity function or whatever that you're passionate about and doing big things with, then the other way to earn this $8,000 of stock, which you can only do if you have earned Elite Agent status, is teach in Real Academy. That's right, guys. Every single week, about 20 to 30 different classes are going on about every single topic you could possibly imagine in Real Academy, taught by Elite Agent status agents. because these are the ones that are producing and doing good things or big things in their businesses. If you choose to do that on whatever topic you are the specialist in, that you know the most about, that you're passionate about, and you teach one class a month, that's it for the whole year. So 12 classes on Zoom, they will gift you back at the end of it $8,000 in company stock. So pretty darn cool for that as well. Now I know I'm saying pretty darn cool a lot, but that's because it's pretty darn cool. I mean, I'm getting jazzed about this because my goodness, the ability to make all this extra income for just doing the job you're already doing, which is being an awesome real estate agent, helping people buy and sell property. This is a no-brainer in my humble opinion. But let's get on to the seventh way that Real helps you make additional income, and that is the attraction stock award. That's right, guys. Every time you also bring someone over to the company, not only do you make the revenue share and all that other great stuff, but when that person closes their first deal, Real will grant you, just for the fun of it, 75 shares of stock, because why not? So 75 shares of stock for each person you bring over that when they close their first deal is deposited right into your Morgan Stanley account. Again, pretty darn cool. Now, the eighth way you can make money with Real is through Real Title. That's right, in certain states, they have title joint ventures, or a way that you can invest in their title company called Real Title. And if you do so, they will potentially have payouts to you on a quarterly basis based on a whole bunch of different factors. Number one, if they're profitable. Number two, how big your team is, how many deals you've sent their way, how much, if you're a single agent, if you're a team, whether you have capped or maybe you have not capped. There's all these different qualifiers. But right now, on average, they're saying that the average person who invests in Real Title is getting around a 5-to-1 ROI. So that's just another way if you want to have some sort of ownership in a way or investment in a title business, you can kind of piggyback on Real Title if they're in your state, based upon your qualifications of who you are and how much production you do as an agent, and you can get a potential 5-to-1 return. So that's a pretty cool way also to make money. And last but not least, this is the biggest one. This is one I get the most excitement for, guys, and that's a revenue share. This is the huge one that is game-changing and life-changing for many agents already with Real Brokerage, and many, many more to come as the company continues to skyrocket and grow. Now, revenue share is the portion of money that the company receives that they pay back to its agents, and they pay it back to the agents proportionally for their role they played in helping attract other agents over to the brokerage to join it and be a part of it. So it is paid out proportionally by that, and so there's a big opportunity if you want to go out there and make it part of your business strategy to spread the good word about Real Brokerage and have agents come on over and experience the culture and the financial ability to make multiple streams of income and great technology that is proprietary to the industry to help your clients out. And it's just amazing, guys. So if you're one of those people and you think you may have a knack to influence other people and spread the good word, then this is for you. Now let's talk about how revenue share works with Real. Now Real obviously works on an 85-15 split. So the 15% that people pay up until the point they are capped is revenue that goes to the company. Out of that 15% now that came over here, they take this 15% and they divide that up. Currently, somewhere around 50 to 55% of this 15% pot is paid back to all the agents of the company as a reward for being sponsors of other people that came over to the company to work here, which is pretty darn cool. The rest of that money the company retains to run its operations, its Wall Street management, its people, its technology, and everything else that comes with running a company, a publicly traded company, which is no small feat. But back to the 50 to 55% portion of that revenue, because that's the fun stuff. That's what's paid out to agents, and that is what is big money, or the potential to be big money. Now, right now with Real, you have people making anywhere from $1 a month revenue share to over $200,000 a month in revenue share. That's right, guys, multiple people. So it is a real thing, no pun intended, and it is big, or it could be big if you choose to focus on it and over time watch it grow. So let's talk about how it works mechanically when it comes to revenue share payout. So you have 5 different levels with Real. As you can see on the screen right here, you have a 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, 1% payout So the payouts are larger at the top, which is just the opposite of what other companies in the real estate industry pay when it comes to revenue share, if they even have this type of model. So Real believes that the people who bring other people over should get the highest payout because they're the most responsible for bringing that person over. And now they're more vested, they're more interested to help them succeed, the people they bring over, because if they succeed, then the agent above them succeeds financially, making a portion of the proceeds that agent pays to the company back to the agent that brought them over. So pretty darn cool. Now we talk about 5%, 4%, 3%, 2%, and so on and so forth. That number is based off of a GCI that the agent produces of $80,000 for the year. Why? Well, because if you have an 85-15 split, the 15% that goes to the company, 50% of $80,000 is $12,000, and that's the cap. That's when the split stops because you've capped out for the year. So if you're in a half cap, that's only $40,000 of gross commission earned for the year. So to figure out what the cap is on your payout for revenue share, on line 1 is 5%. So 5% of $80,000, that's $4,000. Next line down, 4% of $80,000, that's $3,200. Next line down, on line 3, 3% of $80,000, that's $2,400. Next line down, on line 4, a 2% payout of $80,000 is $1,600 for the year. And then on line 5, a 1% payout of $80,000 is $800. And so you know easily, without having some super complicated mathematical formula, what you potentially could earn off people in your different lines as you bring people over, and the people that you brought over, they know people that bring over, and so on and so forth. And all of a sudden you see this organization below you just kind of organically grow to this big organization. I'm experiencing this right now, guys. I've only been with Real for about 10 months, and I've already seen my revenue share go from $1,000 a month, if you will, to up now to $20,000 a month. It's even weird to say that, but it's awesome because that's the benefit, that's the power of this network that grows below you if you bring over just the right kind of people in your line 1, because those people who are business builders, they're going to take and run with this, and they will grow as well. So if you have any questions about the revenue share, if you have any questions about Real, give me a call. Call me on my cell phone, 480-227-2028. Call or text. I would love to have a conversation with you further, because this can get kind of confusing when ultimately you take a step back and look at it. It's not that complicated. It's just an awesome opportunity over time that can grow if you're consistent about the activity that leads to it. So back to the mechanics of those 5 levels and the payouts, that is how you get paid in revenue share with Real. Now there are some qualifiers, and the qualifiers are, in your line 1, you have to have so many different agents to make the payouts work. So to get paid on your agent's line 1, there is no qualifier. You get paid immediately up to $4,000 per each agent in your line 1. However, to unlock level 2, Real just made an amazing bombshell change where they went from requiring 10 agents in your line 1 to unlock level 2 to now only requiring 5 agents as of November 1st of 2023. 5 agents in line 1 to unlock level 2, guys. Now, who cannot bring over 5 agents to the company that's growing like this? It's not that hard, guys. It's very doable. You, I promise, can do it. And with the right coaching, I'd be happy to help you out and coach you with it. You absolutely can do it. Now, to get to your line 3, you have to have 15 agents in line 1 to unlock it. To get to line 4, you have to have 20 agents in line 1 to unlock level 4. And to unlock level 5, you have to get to 25 agents in your line 1. So over time, this can grow. And as it grows, all of a sudden you start unlocking these levels and you're like, oh my goodness. Now, the other qualifier too as well is that because Real did not want to be a recruiting company where people just come over with a real estate license and start recruiting everybody, because that's not the culture they want. They want one Real where everyone works together, people are vested to help each other. And so that's not the culture they wanted. So they have a production requirement to participate in revenue share. And that production requirement is you have to close 1 deal every 6 months, which is nothing, for a total commission of gross commission of $3,000. That's right, guys. So on an 85-15 split, that 15% of $3,000 is $450 that Real needs to receive from a closing one time every 6 months. So it's not hard, but it is a qualifier to ensure they're getting the right type of people who want to produce and help people buy and sell real estate first, and then attract agents second. That's the culture. Now, with that all being said, I mentioned there's 5 levels of revenue share. So without going much deeper in this, the big thing is that Real announced earlier this year in 2023 is that they are doing fractional and willable revenue share. That's right, guys. So willable, pretty self-explanatory, but huge nonetheless. If something happens to you or me, God forbid, then the person we designate as our beneficiary, they will start receiving the same payouts I would receive as if I was still here on planet Earth. And so it is willable to your heirs, which is amazing. And it just keeps going forever until, the company just ceases to exist, which hopefully won't be for many decades. So that's the willable piece. The fractional piece basically makes your revenue share lines unlimited, literally infinite and unlimited. Why? Because if you already have 5 lines built out, you now can have someone else, Jimmy the agent over here, who maybe wants to be part of your organization because you're doing a great job here, but you already have 5 lines. So if he comes down below line 6, and sponsors number 5 here, you just don't get anything off of that. However, if Jimmy says, well, I want to be part of this organization, so I would like to have Kelly at the top here co-sponsor me, you can choose Kelly and the agent at level 5, let's say, and at a co-sponsorship, now there's a whole nother set of 5 lines that get set aside over here with Jimmy the agent, and you start building out those 5 under Jimmy because Jimmy's going to want to build out his revenue share organization. So it's pretty cool. So now you have 5 here, you have 5 more over here. If Susie wants to do it and she comes over here, you have 5 more over here. You have levels of 5 everywhere to make it infinite and literally unlimited in that situation. And in that situation of fractional ownership or sponsorship, you are paid 45% and 45%. The extra 10% of the revenue share that goes from that person doing a closing actually goes to the company because they need that extra revenue to map and pay for all of that, because it gets really complex really fast. But the company's willing to do it because they want to do what's best for the agent. They want to give the biggest incentives for the agents to grow this company so that one day Real has grown to hopefully be 10% of market share in the United States, which is going to put us around the 130,000 agent mark, which would be awesome. So when I first joined, there were 6,100 agents in October of 2022. Now in September of 2023, there are almost 12,000 agents. So the company almost doubled in less than a year, which is exciting growth and super cool to be part of. So now that you're fully versed on the 9 different ways to make money with Real Broker, my hope for you is that you explore it a little further. Give me a call or someone you trust with the company. Reach out to them or myself. I'd love to have a conversation with you. I will definitely take the time. This is very important to me, and I am passionate about this because for 17 years of my 18-year career, I knew nothing about this, and I just had to reset the clock, punch it every January 2nd because it went back to 0. After having a good year or a bad year before, it didn't matter. No one cares about last year. I had to reset the clock. Well, with this model and with stock options and revenue share, you don't have to just reset the clock every single January 2nd when you start working again, because you have that consistent income still coming in. It's amazing, guys. So call me at 480-227-2028 or text. That works just as good. And I'd love to have a conversation, or check out the link below to find out more information about Real Brokerage. Thanks, guys. Go out and crush the day.